laps before today. Spent a good amount of time out front, but now it's Grant Enfinger, last year's winner, into contact, and Coughlin goes around. Big hit for Coughlin and Fontaine and others involved. And there's John Hunter Nemecheck. Looks like he has escaped. But Coughlin did not. Myatt Snyder with some smoke has obviously been involved in it as well. The 29 of Briscoe. Man, look at the damage Fontaine had. Such a good run.
Man, you just see the tight racing, and Kevin, as every lap winds off, they get more aggressive with the side drafting. Had guys that, quite frankly, haven't run at the front a lot this year, and they could taste the lead here at Talladega.
Well, that's the mentality that you have coming here, especially when you hadn't won a race all year. You know that this is your opportunity, and you're willing to take more risks than you are at other places because you know you can make something happen by pushing and shoving and getting yourself in position up front and up in front of the pack. So these guys were doing everything they can to try to get to the front and stay there. Coughlin was leading and then lost his momentum, got swallowed up a little bit, and when he got back in the pack, then we saw the contact. And they're going to stop the trucks along the front straight there just before the tri-oval while the cleanup begins.
It was an awesome move by Christopher Bell. He was able to get to the middle and around Coughlin and in behind Enfinger, and that cost Cody all of his momentum, like you said, Vince. And then when you start to slow in the middle of the pack, guys have to make evasive action around you, and that's when you see issues.
Chris Fontaine, good to see him climb from the truck, but obviously needing some medical attention. Well, this all started when we were coming off of turn 4, and Grant Enfinger went around Cody Coughlin, and they started to get 3 wide.
Here's you called it, Kevin. Now watch Bell. He gives Enfinger a push. They're clear of this, but now here comes Gregson, 3 wide up the middle. And this has to be where problems started. Yeah.
Myatt Snyder looked like he got into the back end of the 13 and spun him. Well, what happens is that bottom lane here through the tri-oval is much flatter than the rest of the lanes going up. And when you're in the middle, you're already in a bad spot because the back end of your truck starts to want to wiggle around. But what you saw there was Myatt Snyder was in the middle, and it looked like he came up the racetrack there, and as he went, he got loose right there, and then he just touched the back of the 13 in the right rear, and the 47 came down, and it all broke loose there.
You can see briefly up in the air was the 13 truck, and he settled right back down. The aerodynamic flaps you see on that bed, Vince, those flaps opening up, that's helping to evacuate the air from under the truck and set it back down.
Like they served their purpose.
I can see why Fontaine was slow. Wow, that was a heavy hit for him. I just think Snyder tried to get into a hole, got a little bit loose, and clipped Cody Coughlin.
Yeah, when you're in the middle like that, you know how it is, Michael. It's just you have to be so much more careful with the steering wheel and the input that you put into the right or left, because everything just becomes much easier to spin out or get loose, and the truck just is not as stable as it is in the outside or inside lanes when the middle is a tough place to be through that tri-oval. Almost like if you've ever had to walk on the ice, it's kind of tough to get your balance and feel secure. Well, you see him, he kind of, I don't know if he thought the 13 was going to come back up the racetrack right there, but he kind of jerked the truck to the right, the 51 truck of Myatt Snyder kind of jerked the truck to the right, and then when he went back to the left, when you put that input into the wheel to the right and then pull it right back to the left, it instantly makes the truck loose.
And watch at the back of the screen, the pink truck that's torn up. That's John Hunter Nemecheck. Heavy contact by Wendell Chavis there into the road truck. Watch where Nemecheck goes. He's racing to make the next round of the playoffs, and he used every bit of the available real estate there down into turn 1 to clear that mess.
Well, don't hit me. And that move right there is probably going to make the playoffs for him. I mean, that was just one of those moves that you don't know where the trucks are going to go, and you go with your instinct and shooting for the gap there. But those are big hits. That's the 13 of Coughlin, and then the 47 of Fontaine. Now on